Hey y'all, I'm Blam.
And I'm Stella. We just like to take some time to let y'all know about some style techniques we'll be using in an art adaptation of A Streetcar Named Desire.
And just to be clear, we're taking everything from Streetcar and putting it into Gatsby.
Yeah, so right now we're in the Plaza Hotel in downtown New York City in the year 1920.
And for y'all who didn't read the play,
we know who you are.
And we're going to be using some of the great Tennessee Williams points in our great story.
First off, pay attention to the rising temperature of the room.
Yeah, when it gets too darn hot and Stanley starts to get cranky, it's a result of tension about to be happening.
Next, Tennessee Williams innovatively uses light imagery in order to symbolize Blanche's secrecy in the past. You can see how she's always trying to cover up light bulbs around the apartment.
Tennessee Williams didn't have Beyonce or Jay-Z, but we had to incorporate the great jazz music movement that happened during this time period. So we incorporate the sadness of Streetcar with the current music in Gatsby.
And so before you go, one last important point to make.
There's one important theme that crosses over between these two novels. It's the secrecy of the past. Stanley reveals my secrets and ultimately leads to my downfall.
So thanks for joining us, and enjoy the show.
For?
It's Blanche's birthday.
She in here?
In the bathroom.
Washing some things.
I reckon so.
How long has she been in there?
All afternoon.
Soaking in a hot tub.
Yes.
Temperature 100 on the nose, and she soaks herself in a hot tub. God, all of New York is just up in flames, and we're just thrown in the oven.
She said this to keep her cool for the evening.
So I've been told. And told. And told. You know, she's been feeding us peck ass here.
No, I don't. And I don't think that you have any right to say any sort of that.
Well, she has, however. But now the cat's out of the bag. I've been thinking about some things.
What? What things?
Things I already suspected, but now I know for sure. I got proof from the most reliable of sources, and I have checked them out. Gosh, darn, it's getting hotter and hotter in here.
Shh, she'll hear you. Poor Dawn just wants to wipe herself down. The New York air ain't good for her country, but now, please tell me quietly what you heard about these things.
Lie number one. You should just know the line she puts on and that she's been feeding to Mitch. You know what? He thought she'd never been more than kissed by a fellow. But you know what? That's not exactly true. She's not quite as innocent as she seems.
What have you heard and from who?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through Laurel for years and years. And you know what? He has found out something that he knows to be true. Everyone else in Laurel knows her. Everybody knows all about her and her filthy reputation. You know what? She is as famous in Laurel as the President of the United States is to our country, but she doesn't have quite the reputation, if you know what I mean. Please. The supply man stops at a store called the Flamingo.
Paper moon sailing over a
You know what? I can't deal with it. You can just deal with it.
If you believed in me.
Quit your hollering in there, Blanche. The whole block can hear you.
Stanley! What am I going to do with you?
You know what? It's not that. You need to listen to me.
What have you heard about these things?
She stayed at the Flamingo, too.
My sister lived in Belle Red.
I mean, after she left this castle of yours, please. Once her home place slipped through those lily white fingers of hers, she moved to the Flamingo, a second-rate place where the people, the staff, is known for their discretion about certain actions of the guests. If I know what you know what I mean, Stella. Come on. Stop lying to yourself. But even the management of the Flamingo was not prepared for Dame Blanche. You would that they would be used to these things because of the jazz age and the coming and going of these fellas. But no, Dame Blanche had a surprise for them. Even they were not prepared for her antics. In fact, they asked her for her room key back permanently. You know, this happened a couple weeks before she showed up here.
What contemptible lies!
Sure, I can see how you would be surprised. She pulled the wool over Mitch's eyes too.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it, and if I were a man and this creature were to invent such things in my presence,
You know what? Blanche, God, open a window or something. It's so hot in here that he is killing us. Look, honey, I thoroughly checked on these stories. Please, now wait until I finish, okay? The trouble with Dame Blanche is that she couldn't put on this act anymore in Laurel. She played it off for 2 or 3 dates, and soon people got around to wising up and finding out what she was going on to. But you know what? She kept feeding the same old line, the same old act, the same old hooey, and people finally stopped believing it because the town is just too small for these kind of things to keep going on forever. As time went by, she became a town character, you know, regarded as different, as crazy, as loco. Please, honey, as for the last year or two, she's been washed up like poison. That's why she's here this summer, visiting us, acting like royalty, acting like all this is going on. Like, because she's practically told by their mayor to get out of town. It's ridiculous. Yes, did you know there was an army camp near Laurel where her house was considered out of bounds?
all these lies. Now, Stanley, pass me the light. The light's getting too bright in here, and it's not good for my eyes, and not good for Blanche either.
Well, it's her for being such a refined character. You know what? That brings us to line number 2.
Oh, I don't want to hear it anymore. I just don't want to hear it.
She's not even going back to teach school. In fact, as you would have known, she got kicked out of school by their professors because you know what happened? I'm sure you would like to know.
I don't want to know.
She had a relationship with a 17-year-old boy.
Oh, it's just making me sick.
You need to listen. Stella, how many candles are you putting on that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Is company expected?
Oh, yeah, invite Mitch over for ice cream and cake.
Oh, I wouldn't be expecting Mitch here tonight.
What?
Well, Mitch is a buddy of mine. We were in the same outfit together, 2 41st engineers, and we worked together, and now we're on the same bowling team. You can't expect me
Stanley Kowalski. Do you mean to tell me? Do you mean to tell you fellows here? Stanley, you are making me sick. I just can't take it anymore. This is too
I'm
much.
making you sick. Please, you don't think that, you know, he's not even necessarily through with her. He's just wised up.
Why, Stanley, you selfish, no good son of a...
Excuse me. Well, it's not like he was even going to marry her. You know it. She's not even staying here after Tuesday. You know what, don't you? I got her a little birthday present, a train ticket for Tuesday.
Stanley.
The hot bath was lovely. I feel so good and cool and rested. And when I have a cool drink with it, oh, I feel like a new person. But Stella, dear, that light is too bright.
Dame Blanche. Dame Blanche. Oh, my herself. You know what? She's not Oh, Dame Blanche, does that take you a while?
You know what, Stanley? No one looks good in that natural light.
Why, Blanche, why do you wear that old southern thing? You know, we can take it to the city and get some of the New Yorkers where it's more old-fashioned.
It's dignified, Stella. It reminds me of the past.
Oh. Well, why don't we have some cake here? I can light the candles.
Oh, Stella, look at those candles. Don't burn them.
Oh, I just will. What do you think I'm going to do with this birthday cake?
You really shouldn't waste them on me. Wait, use them for the baby. And when he has his birthday, it'll reflect so good in his bright blue eyes.
What poetry. God, damn, it's hot in here with all the steam from the bathroom.
I said I was sorry 3 times. It calms my nerves. Hydrotherapy is what they call it, but you wouldn't know it, Polo. You probably don't even know what anxiety feels like.
I am not a Polak. People from Poland are Polish. not a Polak. And you know, by the way, Sister Blanche, I got a little birthday remembrance for you.
What is it? Oh, Stanley, you didn't have to. I mean, like, it's only my birthday, and I don't even know why I'm still fussing over this. I mean, I'm only turning 27. When you get to this age, you just want to ignore it.
27?
What is it? Is it for me?
Yes, well, I hope you like it.
Why, it's a...
Train ticket for 12 p.m. this Tuesday.
I can't. I won't sell it the light. It's too much.
Well, look what you did.
Well, don't forget all I took off her.
Oh, you need to be so cruel to someone as alone as she is.
Delicate piece she is. All this.
She was. You didn't know Blanche as a girl. Nobody was as tender and trusting as you, but people like you abused her and forced her to change.
Don't even say that. You know what? When we first met, me and you thought I was a common man. How right you was, baby. I was common. You showed me all your columns and your columns, and I brought you down tonight and showed you the colored lights, and you loved it. But you know what? Now, with all this, it's ridiculous. Still, what's wrong?
Take me to the hospital.